everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nuta, the Crochet World, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment on my videos. And today we're going to do something different. We are going to do the pattern today. We're going to do an amigurumi deer pattern today, but for that I'm going to use this ready-made pack. This is a DIY pack for deer pattern. Now I've got this pack from Usicperk website. It is www.usicperk.com, and I've got this pack from them, and they are the online portal. They are the online shopping portal, so they do this kind of packs. So if you are interested into having an amigurumi pattern but you don't know how to start with and you don't have any kind of material or something, they are doing this entire pack. So they can send you this entire pack to your doorstep, and they have a lot of patterns. They have a lot of amigurumi patterns. So they have flowers, they have other animals as well. So you can go and check their website. I'm going to put the link into the description link down below, so you can just click on that link and you can order it online. And that's it. So let's open up the pack here. So here it is. I'm just going to open up a pack and we'll check what is inside. So here it is. This is the pack, and it says deer pattern here. So here it is. I've got this wool here. This is the yarn. Now it hasn't say anything in here what material it is, but we can clearly see that 3 different colors here. And this is the pattern. So here it is. I'm just gonna open this one up and we'll show you. So this is the return pattern, and it is in English. So if you want to have a return pattern for this one, you can easily check out on this pamphlet which comes along with this pack. And I've got something in here. So this is the feeling. This is the software feeling they have sent along with. Now this one is a crochet kit for beginner. So here it is. They've used all the terms here. So basically all the guideline. And this is for the beginners. So here it is. This is for chains. This is working into the round or working into the chain. Here it is. So this is it, and they have sent me this accessories as well. So here it is. You can find your this hooks, your this stitch markers. There's eyes in there, and there is a needle here as well. So here it is. These are the items I've got into the pack here. So let's begin. So here it is. We will start with the head, and just have your yarn. I'm going to use my this brown yarn here, and I'm going to use my this 2.5 mm of the hook. So here it is. We will start with the magic circle. So just have your yarn and have your yarn around your fingers like this. Insert your hook in this way and grab your this second strand of yarn through your this first strand of yarn and turn your hook this way. And here it is. This is your magic circle, and here I'm gonna have a chain 1. Now this chain 1 is not a stitch. I made this chain 1 only to secure my this magic circle. Here it is. And now for round number 1, we will have 6 single crochets into this magic circle. So for that, just insert your hook into this magic circle, grab your yarn. You're going to have 2 loops in your hook, yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and this is your first single crochet. And now we will have 6 single crochets here. So that's going to be my second single crochet, 3 and 6. So here it is. We got our this 6 single crochets here. Pull your yarn and this tail and close your this magic circle here, and here it is. Your work will look like this. And now for round number 2, I will go to this first stitch. So this is my first stitch. I will go to this first stitch and will insert my hook into my this first stitch here, and will grab the yarn. So just pull up a loop and here I'm gonna have 2 loops in my hook. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and this is my 1 single crochet of my round number 2. Remember, we are start working in a spiral way now. So here it is. This is the first stitch of our round number 2, and here I'm just gonna have a stitch marker. So just have here this stitch marker and have it on here. And now here for this round number 2, we will have 2 single crochets into each stitch from our previous round. So here we're going to have 12 single crochets. So insert your hook again into that same stitch, into this first stitch, and grab your yarn and have this second single crochet. Go to this next stitch, and here again we will have 2 stitches here. We will have 2 single crochets here. So here it is. It's 1 and 2. So here it is. I've got my this 11 single crochet, and this is my 12th single crochet here. Now for round number 3, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker here, and I will go to this first stitch here. So insert your hook into this first stitch here like this, and grab your yarn. You're going to have 2 loops in your hook. Yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and that's going to be your first single crochet of your round number 3. Now again, have the stitch marker back on, and now here for this round number 3, we will have 1 single crochet here on over this first stitch. Go to this next stitch. This is your stitch number 2, and here into over the second stitch we will have 2 single crochets. So just grab a yarn and have 2 single crochets here. So that's going to be our first single crochet and second single crochet. Again, go to this next stitch, insert your hook, grab a yarn, and have 1 single crochet only. Go to this next stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch here. Now keep on repeating this pattern. Keep on having 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochets. Keep on repeating this pattern all the way around on your this round number 3, and by the end you're going to have your 18 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end. Here it is. I got my this 18 single crochets here. Now for my round number 4, I will just take out my this stitch marker, and here I will insert my hook into my this first stitch. We'll grab the yarn, and we'll have 1 single crochet here, and have the stitch marker back on. And now here for this first stitch, have your this 1 single crochet. Go to this next stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. So here it is. It's 1 and 2, and go to this next stitch and have only 1 single crochet here. Here it is, like this. And now we will repeat over this pattern all the way around over this round number 4. So again, go to this next stitch and have 1 single crochet only. Go to the stitch after that and have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch, and go to this next stitch into this third stitch and have 1 single crochet only into this third stitch. Keep on repeating this pattern all the way around on your this round number 4, and by the end of this round number 4, we will have 24 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end here. Here it is. I got my this 24 single crochets here. I'm going to take out my this stitch marker again, and now for round number 5, we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch for our first 3 stitches. So here it is. Insert your hook into this first stitch, grab yarn, and have 1 single crochet here. Have the stitch marker back on, because this is the first stitch of your this round number 5. Always remember to have this stitch marker on your first stitch of your every round, so that you will remember that which stitch you have been working on. So here it is. It's 1, 2, and 3. So here we got 3 single crochets here on over this first 3 stitches, and now go to this fourth stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. So here it is. Have 2 single crochets here. It's 1 and 2. And now we will repeat over this pattern all the way around on over this round number 5. So again, next 3 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and into this fourth stitch have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. Keep on repeating this pattern all the way around, and by the end of this round number 5, we will have 30 single crochets, 30, and I will meet you at the end here. Here it is. At the end of this round number 5, we got over this 30 single crochets, and now I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker here, and for round number 6, first 2 stitches, we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So go to this first stitch, insert your hook, and have your 1 single crochet here. Have your this stitch marker back on. Go to this next stitch and have 1 single crochet here. go to this third stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into over this one stitch, into over this third stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 2. Now go to this next 2 stitches, and here we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1 and 2. And here it is. You got this first 6 stitches here, and we will repeat over this pattern all the way around, and over this round number 6. So again, go to this first 2 stitches and have 1 single crochet into each stitch. It's 1 and 2. Go to this third stitch and have 2 single crochets into this one stitch. Here it is. And go to this next 2 stitches and have 1 single crochet into each stitch here, like this. Keep on repeating this pattern all the way around, and by the end of this round number 6, we will have 36 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end here. And here it is. At the end of this round number 6, I got this 36 single crochets, and now for my round number 7, I will take out this stitch marker, and I will go to this first stitch, insert your hook into this first stitch, grab your yarn and have 1 single crochet here. Have the stitch marker back on, and here for this round number 7, we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch for first 5 stitches. So here it is. We already got over this 1 stitch here, first stitch here. We will go to this next stitch, and we will have 1 single crochet here. Go to this next one and have here this 1 single crochet here. That's your 3 single crochets. Go to this next one. That's going to be a 4th single crochet, and go to this next one, and this is your 5th single crochet. Here it is. So first 5 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and now go to the 6th stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into this one stitch. So it's 1 and 2. And you got this first 7 stitches here, and we will repeat over this pattern all the way around, and over this round number 7. Repeat this pattern all the way around, and by the end of this round number 7, we will have 42 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end here. And here it is. At the end of this round number 7, I got this 42 single crochets, and now for my round number 8, I will have 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So here I'm just going to take out this stitch marker. I will go to this first stitch, and we'll have 1 single crochet here. That's going to be my first stitch of my round number 8. So I'm just going to have a stitch marker back on here, and now keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch for this round number 8. And again, by the end of this round number 8, we will have 42 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end with my 42 single crochets. Remember, 1 single crochet into each stitch here. And here it is. At the end of this round number 8, I got this 42 single crochets. Now for my round number 9, I'm just going to take out this stitch marker here, and here for this round number 9, first 3 stitches, I'm going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So just go to this first stitch and have this 1 single crochet here. Have this stitch marker back on. Go to this next one and have 1 single crochet. Go to this next one and have 1 single crochet here. So first 3 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch. Go to this 4th stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into this one stitch. So here it is. It's 1 and 2, and now go to this next 3 stitches and have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1, 2 and 3. Here it is. And you got this first 8 stitches here. Now we will repeat over this pattern all the way around over this round number 9. Keep on repeating this pattern all the way around on this round number 9, and by the end of this round number 9, we will have 48 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end here. And here it is. At the end of this round number 9, I got this 48 single crochets, and now for our next round number 10, we will again have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So we will not have any increase here. Simply just take out the stitch marker here, go to this first stitch and have 1 single crochet here. Have the stitch marker back on, and now keep on having 1 single crochet on each stitch for this round number 10, and by the end of this round number 10, we will have 48 single crochets, and I will meet you at the end. And here it is. At the end of this round number 10, it looks like this. You can turn your work upside down because this is the front side and this is the back side, so you can simply turn your work in here. And now here for round number 11, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker, and here I'm going to have one single crochet into each stitch for my first 16 stitches. 1 6. So here it is. Just go to this first stitch, insert your hook, and have it this one single crochet, have it this stitch marker back on this round number 11. This is your first stitch, and now keep on having one single crochet into each stitch for your first 16 stitches. 1 6. So here it is. It's 1 2 3 14 15, and now I'm going to have my 16th stitch, but for that I'm just going to insert my hook into my this next stitch. We'll grab the yarn. I'm going to have 2 loops on my hook. Remember, this is my stitch number 16, and I will not finish my stitch in here because we're going to change the color of our yarn. So here it is. Just simply have this white color here, and I'm going to change my this with my this second color, and I will insert my this second color here. So just have the second color and pull up a loop, and here it is. Adjust your yarn here, and now this is your stitch number 16. So here it is. We are going to finish our stitch number 16 like this because we're going to change the color here. And here it is. We got over this first 16 stitches, one single crochet into each stitch, and now here with our this second color we will have next 4 stitches. So we will have one single crochet into each stitch for this next 4 stitches, but with our this second color, with our this white color. And while working on this white color, I'm gonna have my this first color along with my this stitches. So here it is. I'm just gonna include my this yarn into my this stitches here. So just go to this next stitch. This is your stitch number 16. Go to this next stitch. This is your stitch number 17. Insert your this hook here. Have this brown yarn. Have this first color here, and now grab your yarn and have one single crochet here. That's going to be your first single crochet on your this white color. Go to this next stitch. Remember, I am having my this first yarn into my this stitches. So I have this second single crochet, 3. For my 4th stitch, I will insert my hook and will grab the yarn, and again I will not finish my this stitch in here, and I will change the color. So I'm just going to leave my this second color here, and will grab the first color here, and I will have my loop here, and that's how I will finish my this stitch number 4 here. So it will look like this. Now for next 7 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch with our this first color, with our this brown color, but while having our this stitches we will include our this yarn as well into our this stitches like this. So here it is. I will go to this next stitch and we'll have 7 stitches here, and I will have 6 stitches, and then again I'm going to change the color of my yarn, so I will not finish up my 7th stitch. So here it is. Here it is. And now for my the 7th stitch, I will insert my hook into my the 7th stitch here, and will grab the yarn, and I'm going to have 2 loops on my hook, and I will not finish my the 7th stitch here. Again I will grab my the second color and will pull up a loop, and will finish my this 7th stitch here. Now again, next 4 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch with our this white color, and remember to have your this yarn along with your this stitches. So here it is. Just go to this next stitch, and you can adjust your yarn here, grab yarn, and have one single crochet into each stitch for your this next 4 stitches with your this second color. And again, this is my 3 stitches, and I will grab the yarn, and I will not finish up my this 4th stitch, and I will change the color here. Here it is, and pull up a loop and finish up your stitch, and here it is. It looks like this. Now for this remaining 17 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch. So here it is. Now for your next stitches we will not include our this yarn in here, so you can simply leave your yarn in here and have one single crochet into each stitch here. So keep on having one single crochet into each stitch for your this next 17 stitches, 1 7, and finish up your this round number 11, and in total you're going to have your 48 stitches. So if you will count your number of stitches here, including your this white stitches and your this brown color stitches, you're going to have your 48 stitches, and I will meet you at the end. And here it is. At the end of my this round number 11, it looks like this. Now for round number 12, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker, and now here I'm going to have my this first stitch, and we'll have a stitch marker back on. Now on my this round number 12, we will have one single crochet into each stitch for this first 15 stitches, 1 5. So remember, this is your first stitch. Go up to your 15 stitches, have one single crochet into each stitch with your this brown color, with your this first color, and I will meet you after my 15 stitches, 1 5. Here it is. I got my this 14 stitches here, and now for my last stitch, my 15th stitch, I will insert my hook into my this next stitch and we'll grab the yarn. I'm going to have 2 loops here. Here we're going to change the color of our yarn. So here it is. I'm just going to get this second color. Now here I've got my this second color in here. My this second yarn is here. I'm going to attach my yarn here from here like this. Now there are 2 ways. You can simply cut your yarn in here. You can cut your yarn in here, and you can reattach your yarn with your this second row or second round. But if you don't want to cut your yarn, just like me, you can simply attach your yarn here like this, pull up a loop. But while doing this, just keep that in mind that your this yarn, this one is loose enough. It's not tight. If it will be a very tight, it will shrink your work. So just keep that in mind while attaching it. So just have it a little bit loose in here, so that while you will fill your this head, it will be in a shape. It will not be shrinked. So here it is. Just have your yarn like this, and now here I'm going to have my next 6 stitches with my this second color. Just have the second color here on your the stitches, and next 6 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch with our this white color over the second color. So that's 1 2 3 4 and 5, and for the 6th stitch we will not finish our stitch. Just insert your hook in here, grab a yarn. You're gonna have 2 loops on your hook. Now again we will change the color of our yarn. Simply just take your this first color and finish up your this 6th stitch here, just your stitch here. And now here next 5 stitches we will have one single crochet with each stitch, and we will work with our this first color. So here it is. It's gonna be 1 2 3 and 4, and for 5th stitch we will not finish our stitch. So just pull up a loop and simply have the second color yarn and adjust your stitch in here. And now again next 6 stitches we will work with our this second color. Remember to have your this yarn along with your stitches. So here it is. Let's go to this next stitch and have one single crochet on each stitch for this next 6 stitches. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and we are not going to finish our stitch in here. We will change the color. So here it is. Just change the color here, just your stitch. Here it is. It looks like this. And now your remaining 16 stitches have one single crochet into each stitch with your this first color, and I'm going to leave my this white color in here. So I'm just going to leave it here. I will not have my this white color yarn along with my stitches. Just going to leave it here. As I said, you can cut your yarn in here if you want, but I'm not going to cut it, and I will simply keep on working on my this stitches, and we'll have one single crochet into each stitch until the end of my this round number 12. And here I'm going to have another 16 stitches, and here it is. At the end of my this round number 12, it looks like this. Now for round number 13, just going to take out my the stitch marker, and here we will have one single crochet into each stitch for our first 14 stitches, 1 4. And here it is. I've got my this 13 stitches on my this round number 13, and for my 14th stitch, my last stitch, I will insert my hook and will grab the yarn, and I will not finish my stitch here. And again I will have my this second color here. Just gonna attach my the second color here like this. Adjust your yarn. Remember, you don't want to shrink your this work if you're attaching like me here, or you can simply cut your yarn and reattach your yarn in here. Here it is. And now next 8 stitches we will have our 1 single crochet into each stitch with our the second color. And for your 8th stitch we will not finish our stitch in here, so just grab your yarn and now change the color. So we're going to change the color of our yarn here. Adjust here the stitch with your yarn. Here it is. Now next 3 stitches we will work with our this first color. So here it is. One, two, and our 3rd stitch is our last stitch, so we will not finish up our stitch in here. Just grab your yarn and change the color here. Here it is again. Next 8 stitches we will work with our the second color. Keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch for this next 8 stitches, and your 8th stitch is your last stitch, so we will not finish our stitch in here. Just keep on having 2 loops on your hook, and now change the color of your yarn. Change your yarn in here, and here it is. This is your 8 stitches here. And now next 15 stitches, simply have 1 single crochet into each stitch with your this first color, and I will meet you at the end. Remember, I'm just going to leave my this second color in here, and now keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch until the end of this round. And here it is. At the end of my round number 13, it looks like this. Now we are here on our this round number 14. Now here on our this round number 14, we will increase the number of stitches here. So for that, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker here, and here I'm going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch for first 7 stitches. So here it is. Just go to this 1 stitch and have 1 single crochet. That's going to be our first stitch here. Go to this next one and have 1 single crochet. And 7. Here it is. So first 7 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and now we will go to this next stitch, and here we will have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. So that's going to be 1 and 2. So here it is. This is our pattern. So have 1 single crochet into each stitch for your first 7 stitches, and then into this 8th stitch have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch, and we will repeat over this pattern all the way around on our this round number 14, but we will change the color of our yarn as well. So here it is. First, this is our pattern. Now we will repeat over this pattern for the second time, but here we will have our first 6 stitches with our this first color. So here it is. Just go to next 6 stitches here. And now this is your 6th stitch. Just insert your hook into the 6th stitch and grab your yarn. You're gonna have 2 loops. Now we will change the color of our yarn. So here it is. I'm just gonna grab my this second color in here. So simply just grab your the second color, and while having this yarn, just keep in mind that it is loose enough so that your work will not shrink. Here, like this. And now this is our stitch number 6. Now we will go to this next stitch and have 1 single crochet here. This is gonna be our 7th stitch. Here it is. And now for our this 8th stitch, we will have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. So here it is. It's 1 and 2 here, like this. So we have repeated our pattern here. So we have repeated our 7 single crochets for next 7 stitches, and then 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. We have repeated our pattern, but just we have changed the color in here. And now here, repeat the pattern with your the same second color for next 2 times. So again, here we will not change the color. We will keep on working with our this second color, and always have your this second yarn with your this stitches here, like this. And now repeat the pattern for next 2 times. So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch. Into this 8th stitch, have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. Again 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and into this 8th stitch have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. So just repeat your pattern for 2 times here, and I will meet you after my this next 18 stitches. So here it is. I've added another 18 stitches here, and it looks like this, and I work only with my this second color, and we are here. Now we will have another 2 stitches with our the same color. We are going to repeat our pattern here. So insert your hook into this next stitch and have 1 single crochet, go to this next one, and here we will change the color of our yarn. So just grab your yarn here, and this is our second stitch with our this second color, and we'll change the color of our yarn here. Here it is, it looks like this. Now we got our first 2 stitches here. Now next 5 stitches we will work with our this first color of yarn, and I'm just going to leave this one behind and simply just have next 5 stitches here. So that's 1, 2. Now this is your first stitch with this first color, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here it is. And now here this next stitch we will have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch. It's 1 and 2. So here it is, we repeated our pattern here. So we got our this first 2 stitches, 1 and 2 with our the second color, and another 5 stitches with our this first color. So we got 7 stitches here, and into our this 8th stitch we got our this 2 stitches into this 1 stitch. So in total we got our this 9 stitches here, and we have repeated our pattern. And now we will repeat our pattern at the end as well. So here again, next 7 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and into this 8th stitch, last stitch, have 2 single crochets into this 1 stitch, and that will make 54 stitches all the way around on this round number 14, and I will meet you at the end. And here it is, our work look like this after our round number 14. And remember, we got our 54 stitches here. And now for our round number 15, we will not make any increase. So we will work on 54 stitches here. So for that, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker. And here, I'm going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch for my this first 15 stitches. So here it is. Just have 1 single crochet into each stitch for your first 15 stitches. And here it is. I got my this first 14 stitches of my this round number 15, and now I'm gonna go to this last stitch and we'll grab the yarn, and here we're gonna change the color of our yarn. So here it is, I will simply just attach my this second color here. Next 23 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch with our this second color. So here it is, insert your hook into this next stitch, grab your yarn and have your first single crochet here. And while working on this second color, just keep in mind that you are having this first color yarn along with your stitches, and keep on having 1 single crochet into each stitch for your this 23 stitches with your this second color, and I will meet you after my next 23 stitches. And here it is, after my round number 15, it looks like this, and I'm just gonna leave my hook in here, and here I'm just gonna attach the eyes. So here it is, I'm just gonna get these eyes in here and I will attach the eyes. Now here I will go to this round number 3 with my this white color. So it's 1, 2 and 3. Go in between this round number 3 and 4. Leave 3 stitches from here. So it's 1, 2 and 3. Leave 3 stitches from here and simply insert your this eyes here like this. And I will do exactly the same with my this second eye. So go on 3rd and 4th row. So it's 1, 2, 3, and leave 3 stitches, 1, 2 and 3, and I'm just going to insert my this second eye here like this, and I will attach this covers here on both the sides. And here it is, it looks like this. And now for our round number 16, now with our round number 16 we will start decreasing our stitches here. So for that, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker here, and here I'm going to have 1 single crochet into each stitch for first 7 stitches. So here it is, simply just have 1 single crochet into each stitch for your first 7 stitches. Seven here. And now we will have our decreased stitch here. So for our invisible decrease, I'm just going to insert my hook into my this next 2 stitches, and I will insert my hook into the front loop of my this next 2 stitches. So here it is, just insert your hook into the front loop of your this 8th stitch here, yarn over and pull up a loop, go to the stitch number 9, insert your hook into the front loop of your this next stitch here, and yarn over and pull up a loop. You're going to have 3 loops in your hook, yarn over and pull a yarn through all 3 loop, and this is your pattern, and we will repeat over this pattern all the way around on our this round number 16, and we will change the color of our yarn as well. So here it is. We will simply repeat over this 8 stitches here on our this round number 16. Again here, next 6 stitches we will work with our this first color. So here it is. And your 6th stitch we will change the color here. So simply just grab your yarn and have your this second color, attach your this second color, and now have 1 single crochet here only, because that's going to be our 7th stitch of our this pattern. Here it is. So here have 6 stitches with your first color and have your the 7th stitch with your the second color, and here again we will repeat our pattern. So next 2 stitches we will have our decrease. So insert your hook into the front loop of your this next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, go to this next stitch, insert your hook into the front loop of your this next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You're going to have 3 loops in your hook, yarn over and pull a yarn through all 3 loops. So here it is. We have repeated our pattern for 2 times here. Now again repeat your pattern for next 2 times. So here again have 1 single crochet into each stitch for your this next 7 stitches. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, and for next 2 stitches we will have our decreased stitch. Again 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and next 2 stitches have your this decreased stitch with your this second color. So keep on working on your the second color, keep on repeating your pattern with your the second color, and always have your this first color along with your this stitches, and repeat your pattern for next 2 times, and I will meet you after that. So here it is. I've got my this next 16 stitches here. So I've repeated my pattern for 2 times, and now here for this 3rd time we will repeat our pattern. So here first 2 stitches we will work with our this second color. So insert your hook into this next stitch, grab yarn and have 1 single crochet, go to this next one, insert your hook, grab your yarn, and here we're going to change the color of our yarn. So here it is. Simply just leave the second color and go to this first color here and change your color here, and here it is like this. And now next 5 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. And 5 here. So that will make our 7 stitches here, and for our 8th stitch we will make our decrease here. So insert your hook into the front loop of your this next 2 stitches and pull up a loop. So that's 1 and 2, yarn over and pull a yarn through all 3 loops. Here it is. And now repeat your pattern for the last time here. So first 7 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and your this last 2 stitches have your decrease stitch, and I will meet you at the end. So here it is. After my round number 16 it looks like this, and now for my round number 17 again we will decrease our number of stitches here. So for that, here first 3 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So simply just go into this next stitch and have your 1 single crochet. I'm gonna have my this stitch marker here. So it's 1 2 and 3. So here it is. First 3 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and now we will make a decrease stitch here. So for next 2 stitches we will make our decrease here. So that's 1 and 2 here. Now next 6 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. Now next 2 stitches we will make our decrease here. So here it is. It's 1 and 2. Now for this next stitch we will work with our this first color of yarn. So here it is. Simply just grab your yarn in here and now change the color of your yarn. So go to this second color, attach your this second color here, and finish up your this 1 stitch. Here it is. And now we will work on next 5 stitches with our this second color. and our fifth stitch is actually our sixth stitch, because here we got our one stitch here. So just simply have the sixth stitch here, and now for next two stitches we will have our decrease. So here it is, it's 1 and 2. Again, next 6 stitches, have one single crochet into each stitch, and next 2 stitches we will have our decrease. It's 1 and 2, and now here next 5 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, and our fifth stitch is going to be our last stitch with our this second color. So here it is, I'm just going to get my this loop here. Here it is, and now change the color of your yarn here like this, and now have one single crochet here with this first color, leave your this second yarn here, and now we will make a decrease here for the next 2 stitches. That's 1 and 2. Now next 6 stitches, have one single crochet into each stitch, make a decrease here. So that's gonna be next 2 stitches here, and now our remaining 3 stitches, simply have one single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1, 2 and 3. Here it is, and now if you will count your stitches all the way around, you're gonna have 42 stitches here. So here it is, this is the end of our round number 17, and now for our round number 18 I'm gonna take out my stitch marker here, and here we will have one single crochet into each stitch for our first 5 stitches. So next 2 stitches we will make our decrease stitch. So just insert your hook into the front loop of this next 2 stitches and pull up your loop and yarn over and pull your yarn through all 3 loops. Again, next 5 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch, and our 5th stitch we will change the color of our yarn as well. So just simply pull up a loop, and now we will change the color of our yarn. So simply just have this second color here. Our next 2 stitches we will make a decrease here. So for that, insert your hook into the front loop of this next 2 stitches here, grab a yarn over and pull your yarn through all 3 loops, and here it is. Now again, next 5 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch, next 2 stitches make your decrease stitch here. So it's 1 and 2. Again, next 5 stitches have one single crochet into each stitch, and here we will make a decrease stitch here. So it's 1 and 2. And now for next 2 stitches we will work with our this second color. So it's 1, and that's going to be our last stitch with this color, and now change the color of your yarn. So here it is, just simply go to this first color, pull up a loop, and here adjust your yarn. Here it is. So got your this first 2 stitches, have another 3 stitches here, 1, 2 and 3. That will make 5 stitches here, and now we will have our decrease. So here it is, it's 1 and 2, and again next 5 stitches have one single crochet into each stitch, and your remaining 2 stitches we will have our decreased stitch. And this is the end of our round number 18. Here it is, it looks like this. Now for our round number 19, I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker, and here first 2 stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 2. And now for this next 2 stitches we will make a decreased stitch. So for that, just insert your hook into the front loop of your this next 2 stitches, grab a yarn and have 1 single crochet, and this is your 1 decreased stitch. Now we will have 4 single crochets here, so 1 single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now we will have a decreased stitch here for this next 2 stitches. So here it is, it's 1 and 1 here, like this. Now here we will have our pattern for next 4 stitches. So we will work on this last brown stitch here. We'll insert our hook into this stitch, grab a yarn, and now I will attach my yarn in here. And for next 3 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch with our this second color, with our this white color. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Now next 2 stitches we will have a decreased stitch, so it's 1 and 2. Again, next 4 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now for next 2 stitches we will make a decreased stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 1. Now here for first 4 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1, 2, 3, and here it is our 4th stitch, but we will change the color of our yarn. So here it is, simply just change the color of your yarn. And now for next 2 stitches have 1 decreased stitch. Here it is, and now simply repeat this pattern all the way around until the end of your this round. So have another 4 single crochets and then 1 decreased, and then remaining 2 stitches just have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So, and here by the end of this round we will have our 30 stitches, 30, and this is the end of our round number 19. And now for our round number 20, simply just take out your this stitch marker here, and now we will start with a decreased stitch. So here it is, first 2 stitches we will have 1 decreased stitch here, so it's 1 and 1, have a decreased stitch, have your this stitch marker back on. This is the first stitch of your round number 20. And now we will go to the next 3 stitches and we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1, 1 and 1. Now we will have a decreased stitch here, so simply just have your 2 stitches, insert your hook into the front loop of your these 2 stitches and grab your yarn and have 1 single crochet here. Now for this next 2 stitches, have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and this is going to be our last stitch because we're going to change the color in here. So simply just grab this second color here, and now we will have 1 single crochet here. So that's going to be our 3rd stitch. Here it is, and now after this 3 stitches we will have 1 decreased stitch. So just simply go to this next stitch, next 2 stitches, and grab a yarn and have 1 decreased stitch here. Again, next 3 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. Remember to have your this first yarn into your stitches. Here again, next 2 stitches we will have 1 decreased stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 1, and again here next 3 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch. 1, 2 and 3. And now for these last 2 stitches we will have 1 decreased stitch. So here it is, and now after having these 3 loops we will change the color of our yarn. So simply just grab your this first color and pull up a loop, and that's how we will finish over this color change, this stitch. Here it is, and now again next 3 stitches have 1 single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, 1, 2 and 3. Next 2 stitches have your 1 decreased stitch. Again next 3 stitches we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and that's going to be our remaining 3 stitches. here it is. This is the end of our round number 20, and here we got our 24 stitches. So all the way around we got our 24 stitches. And now for our next round, round number 21. Now round number 21 is going to be our last round for this head part. So here it is. I'm just going to take out my this stitch marker here, and I will start with one single crochet. So simply just go to this first stitch, insert your hook, and have one single crochet here. Have this stitch marker back on, and now our next stitch will be a decrease stitch. So just go to this next two stitches and grab a yarn and have one single crochet here, one decrease stitch here like this. And now for next two stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 2, and next two stitches we will have a decrease stitch. So just grab your yarn from here and again have your 3 loops on your hook. Now change the color of your yarn and finish up here this stitch. And now next two stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch. So it's 1 and 1. Now next two stitches we will have a decrease stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 1, and again next two stitches have one single crochet into each stitch. It's 1 and 2. Again next two stitches have a decreased stitch. So here it is, and again next two stitches have one single crochet into each stitch. And here we're going to change the color of our yarn. So into the second stitch just grab your yarn and change the color of your yarn here. Now keep on repeating your pattern. So again next two stitches we will have a decrease stitch. Next two stitches we will have one single crochet into each stitch. So here it is, it's 1 and 2. Next two stitches we will have one decrease stitch. It's 1 and 1. And now for this last stitch simply have one single crochet only, and here it is. This is the end of our round number 21 and end of our this head part. So here it is, it looks like this, and I'm gonna cut my yarn in here. I'm just gonna cut my this white yarn here first, and I'm gonna leave a little longer tail for my this brown yarn, because we're gonna attach over this head with the body. So here it is, leave a little longer tail. And now if you want you can stuff your this head in. So for that I'm gonna use this soft toy filling which comes with the pack, with the kit. So simply just stuff your this head. Here it is, and now we will create a nose in here. So for that I will use this white yarn and I will have a magic circle here, and here I'm going to go up to my round number 2. So here it is, I'm just going to have a chain 1. So have your magic circle and a chain 1. And now for your round number 1, simply have 6 single crochets here into this magic circle. So here it is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Pull your this loose end and close your this magic circle here. And now for your round number 2, simply have 2 single crochets into each stitch from your previous round and have 12 single crochets here on your this round number 2. Now here if you want you can have a stitch marker. For me it's going to be alright, so I'm not going to use the stitch marker, but if you want you can have a stitch marker. So here simply start working on your this round number 2 and have your this first single crochet here and have your stitch marker here if you want, because this is the first stitch of your round number 2. And simply have 2 single crochets into each stitch from your previous round, and by the end of this round number 2, we will have 12 single crochets. So here it is, I've got my this 2 rounds here. My first round is with 6 single crochets and the second round is with 12 single crochets. And now for my round number 3, I will have 1 single crochet into each stitch for my first 4 stitches. So here it is, just go to this first stitch and have 1 single crochet into each stitch for your first 4 stitches. So that's going to be our first stitch. This is our second stitch, 3, and for this 4th stitch we will change the color of our yarn. So simply just have your this 2 loops in your hook, change with your this brown color here, and simply grab your this brown color here, attach your brown color, finish up your this stitch, and here it is. Now Next 3 stitches, we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch with our this brown color. So simply have first 2 stitches here. It's 1 and 2, and for our third stitch we will not finish our stitch and we will change the color of our yarn. So again, leave these 2 loops here and change the color of your yarn. Go to this first color, your white color, and simply finish your this third stitch. Now again, next 4 stitches, we will have 1 single crochet into each stitch, and that will make our 11 stitches on our this round number 3. Remember, our round number 2 got 12 stitches, and for this round number 3, we have our 11 stitches only. Here it is. And now cut your yarn in here. Please leave a little longer tail because we're going to attach our this nose, and I'm going to cut this one as well. Here it is. Secure your yarn in here. Here it is. And for this top part, we will use red color yarn. So for that, simply have this red color yarn, and here have a magic circle, and we will have only 1 round here. So simply just have a magic circle, have a chain 1, and we're going to work on 8 single crochets here. So simply just have 8 single crochets into this magic circle for this round number 1, and that's it. We're going to need only 8 single crochets here. So we will work only for 1 round here. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. I got my this 8 single crochets here. I'll just close my this round in here, and I will cut my this yarn here, secure this last stitch, and now we will attach over this 2 parts together here. So for that, I will just have a needle in here, and this is my last stitch. I will simply have my this fake stitch here. Here it is, like this. Cut your this yarn, and now attach your this nose in here, like this. Go all the way around, attach your these 2 parts together, and I'll meet you after that. Here it is all nicely attached, and our nose is ready, and I'm just gonna leave my nose in here. If you want, you can cut your this loose ends. I'm just gonna hide them inside, so I'm not gonna cut them, but if you want, you can cut them or you can trim them. It's completely optional.